Hey, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Market Psychology 101, where we look for value in the charts when there's fear and are cautious when there's greed. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a few different altcoins, some top movers on Coinbase. We'll take a look at Rari or Rari, RARI, DNT, District0x, as well as Time. Those are our top movers. Today, you can see we are still in extreme greed. Yesterday we were up around 84. We've been as high as 90 recently. And extreme greed is any level 75 or above. So be extremely cautious. When we take a look at the fear and greed index for the last year, you can see overall we're trending up. We got up here at 90 when Bitcoin broke the prior all-time high. And Bitcoin right now, if we are to go over to the chart, is sitting at all-time high region. So the all-time high that was set in November of 2021, that was around $69,040, something like that. $69,004. I don't know. Either way, we are above that right now. So this is new uncharted territory. And let's go back to the fear and greed index. Something else to note, guys, is that we've been trending up in the fear and greed since down here in June. Now, I've noted that this can be a leading indicator. The very bottom of Bitcoin, the price, wasn't until November. So, and that was the same back here, even though this spiked in greed, this was when Bitcoin was breaking the prior all-time high in 2017, right here. So this was our mid-cycle top, and here was December 2020 as we were breaking the prior all-time high, going up to make new highs around 65,000 from the prior all-time high of 17,000 before, or actually closer to 20,000, depending if you're looking at a macro wick or where the candle closed. So that was about a 3x from that all-time high. As we just broke the all-time high, I'm wondering if we get closer to a 2 or a 2.5x, that would put us somewhere around 140 to 170K. That's kind of the macro high end that I am targeting myself personally. So we'll see if it gets there. Try not to get too much into the prediction game. It's a good way to look stupid. And as we look at the alt season index, guys, we are still early on alt season, but we also have to consider that many of the alts that we're going to look at, and we'll start with Rari. I'm probably butchering that name here. Rarible on Coinbase. Do know, guys, you are taking a big risk buying. If you are brand new to crypto, I'm going to caution you an extreme amount here, because when you are at a yearly high, this is not the time to buy. It truly isn't. And now it's crypto, so you never know. It could go 10x from here. Who knows? Okay, crypto is a casino, but the time to buy has been the last 2 years when we've been down. And if you haven't, you are pretty much just gambling or doing educated gambles. And the way people look at the charts is they'll see, well, where was the high before? All we have to do is get back there. And sure, you can take a simplified look at it. However, having been through the 2017 bull run and the 2020 to 21 bull run, I can tell you guys, not all altcoins get back to their prior levels. I saw a number of altcoins in here that did not get back to the levels they were here. So do know that's a factor. Maybe you're looking for Rarible to get up to this $20 range and it only gets 15. So anyways, let's draw a fib. Here you can see we are overbought. And what kind of fib can we draw on this bad boy? So it is hard when we have these macro charts just where they bleed off here, but we'll go from the top of that wick there. We'll go from the high to the low, try to catch those candles and see where some targets might be. Now let's turn this chart to log and let's see what we got. All right, so you can see here the body's closing at the 382, and that is at around 316. That's where the body is now. Wick wise, we are getting up near the 0.5, 478. So it would be good to see a close above the 382. That way we know we are turning bullish. And here are some of the macro levels for you to look at to possibly get to. So 478, 725, 1310. As we scroll up, if this thing got stupid bullish, actually, when we get to new highs, I think it's better to take it off log. Here would be some of the targets to look for. So getting back to the high would be around 28 bucks. The next level would be 44.50. So that would be a 10x from here. Me personally, the 1618, that's where I would be taking profits, not financial advice. Sure, it might go beyond up here, but I think when cryptos, when they do get into their major bull market and altcoins are just blasting off within the last few months of that cycle, you want to take profits. And sure, a lot of times you could have maybe gained more. It is really hard to time the tops, so do be careful. Make sure that you're not left holding bags, because if you keep holding on thinking it's going to stay up there forever, you're going to be left holding bags for 3-4 years. So make sure you take profits where you can. So that 44 level, that's what I'd be looking for. Next, let's go to time, and we'll finish with DNT last. So time, Chrono.tech time. All right, let's draw a fib from the top of this candle wick to the bottom, and let's put this on log scale. And what do we see? All right, so you can see the fib here. It's trying to get to that 0.5 at around $54, and the body's still looking stuck down here. We are at 37.41 right now, so maybe it's going to close really close to 382. We'll see if it can close above it, and again, it might come back down to this 236 around the $26 level. And should we get up a bit higher, where could we go? We could go as high as, I'm looking for the 1618, around 355. So that would be, again, around a 10x from here. And something else to note, sometimes they say it, sometimes they don't. The market cap of this one, these coins are available on Coinbase, guys. This is a penny stock. This one has a market cap of 27 million. And I'm willing to bet none of you know any of the crypto fundamentals or utility or what this coin's about. I'm willing to take a bet on that. But if it did a 10x, then it'd be worth 270 million. Now in crypto, that's not hard to imagine. Do be very careful with these smaller cap coins. The smaller the cap, the more likely I've seen in my experience that they can turn into rug pulls. So these things can shoot up real quick and then dump just as fast. So just something to keep in mind. But again, because it is such a low cap, these can also sometimes turn into diamonds in the rough, where they can go 200x out of nowhere. So do keep an eye on Chrono.tech. And if you were to, let's see here, let's actually delete this fib here, and let's just draw one from the current high to low, prior lows, and look for some possible price targets. So current high to low, if we were to look for anything good here, let's see, what could we look for? I'd say, if I was willing to be very patient, somewhere around this 27 range. I don't think it would come back down to 22 too soon, but if it gets near that $27, $28 range, I think that'd be good. Maybe it stays up here. The first spot, yeah, sure, you could look at 31, 32, but if you don't want to be more patient, then look for that right there. All right, last, let's take a look at DNT. This has been a coin I've been watching for some time now. And DNT, what do we got here? So DNT, we have this macro fib drawn. Now, something to note with DNT is that this coin, from where it got in 2017, I know that line's not perfect. Let me try to move that. From where it got into 2017, it pretty much tagged the exact same top in 2021. So I'm very curious to see what DNT is going to do, District0x, what it's going to do this time around. As you can see, we wicked up to 11.5 cents today. And well, let's try to get it as exact as possible. Yeah, 11.5 cents. And then we came back down below this 0.5 fib and we seem to be settling down there. Now, it's possible that we come back down here and settle around the 5.5 cent level. It does look like so far we're settling in at 8 cents just underneath the 0.5 fib. I wish it was above it right up here, but we're below. So the 5.5 cent, that is possible. Now, if you're worried that you missed out on DNT and you're just making some short-term plays, I would at the very least be patient, wait to buy down here. And guys, don't chase, because if you do chase and let's say the market pulls back for a couple weeks, because we've seen the stock market, some of the big tech stocks pulling back like Nvidia, Apple, Google, and of course Tesla. Sometimes that can affect the crypto markets as well. So you never know when we're going to get a 2-3 week pullback. And should that happen, these things can come down, and there's plenty of cryptos in the sea. So I've talked about before how the time to get into the markets has been the last couple of years. And if you're just getting in now, it's gambling. So here I do have on the weekly buy sell signals. We haven't had a buy signal since down here when we were just a shade under 3 cents. We did about a 3 or 4x by that today. And as far as price targets, I do think if you're able to sell your DNT up above the 35 cent range, that's pretty good. Now, you might be able to catch one of these wicks above 40. That's going to be hard to do. But let's just say replicated to the last couple times that it gets to the same level again. Okay, maybe we're just getting back up to the 40-50 cent range and that's it. I don't know what's going to happen, but let's just say that that is what happens. Then you want to be ready to sell in those areas. And should you not be able to, should we wick up there and then come back down, then yeah, maybe we get back down here. Now, if we take this fib and we take it off log, because I think this shows better price targets for when we get above. Here are your next price targets. We have 80 cents, $1.30, $1.80, and $2.10. Now, do I think it's going to get that high? Me personally, I do not. Okay, it has a market cap of 80 million. So should it do a 5x, then we're talking 400 million. And a 5x from right here would put this at around 40 cents. So, and that's where we have the 786 fib when we take it off log. So 40 to 50 cents, I think that's the key area to sell in. Now, again, should this go higher? Awesome, great. I would be surprised though, but you never know with crypto. So anyways, that's all I got for the top moving altcoins on Coinbase for today. Do be careful, and not that none of this is financial advice, just my opinion, but I would not be buying in on any of these right now. I think you are taking a big risk if you do. And if you did want to buy in on DNT, let's just take a look at, we'll go from the low to the high. How about that? We'll find some price targets for you. So right now we're at 83 cents, okay, which is right up here. And this is where the body of the candle is right now. So we're 83 cents. Yeah, somewhere inside this range right here. I'd say at lowest you could look at 6.4 cents, or maybe even back down here at 5 cents. Okay, and then it's possible you can still get an 8 to 10x should prior conditions happen again. But as I show at the beginning of every video, analysis market data is not enough to predict future results. All because something happened before does not mean it has to happen again, guys. Who knows? DNT may only get up to these levels and never come back. I've seen that happen to other altcoins. So do make a plan. Literally write down your plan, whether with a pen and paper or in an email draft. write down your plan, maybe look at with any of your cryptos where you would take profits and what percent you would take profits at. So I do recommend you have the time to do that, because let's say you caught one of these coins down here and you put in $1,000, $10,000. By the time it's up here, it's easy to get very greedy, emotional, hyper, and just believe that this thing's going to go up forever when it realistically isn't going to. So do set your price targets and areas to take profit so you can benefit from these bull runs, because as I've shown you guys before, these don't last forever. So I mean, you can see down here from November to April of 21, that's how long it took. So about 5, 6 months. But then look, if you didn't sell up here 40 to 50 cents, this was at the start of May. By the middle of July, so 2.5 months later, look how far it went down. Okay, you went from around 50 cents to 13 cents. Um, yeah, which would be about an 80% loss, 75, 80% loss. So do be careful, guys. Anyways, that's all I got for today. Hope you guys are doing well, being smart, making good decisions. And again, make sure you make a plan of where you are going to get out, because these bull runs do not last forever. So anyways, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.